Hello, my book besties. It's time to start what I think is going to be a series that is going to go on for a while. Because I recently had a look at the series that I'm in the middle of, and I am currently in the middle of 110 series. Now, yes, some of them I'm up to date with, but I think that is a ridiculous amount and I need to work on bringing that down. So my goal for this vlog series is to read series I'm in the middle of and slowly bring that number down. My goal would be to get that down to 30 books that I'm in the middle of, or 30 series I'm in the middle of. I think that's a respectable amount because I think out of all of them, I might only have 10, maybe 15 that I'm actually up to date with. So then that would leave me another 15 series that I'm actively working on. But 110 is just way too many. So each of these vlogs, I'm going to read 4 to 5 books in series that I'm currently in the middle of. I would like to at least aim for one book that I read each vlog to be completing a series, because there are quite a few that I only have one more left to read and then that series is done. So I'm going to try and put that goal around it unless I have like other sort of themes for that week. I don't know. But at the moment, my plan is that at least one book has to finish a series for me and the others just have to work towards completing it or getting me up to date. So the first book that I'm going to pick up is Brigands and Breadknives by Travis Baldree. Now, I do believe that there's a couple of novellas. Let me see where I'm actually up to in this series. There it is. So I have read Legends and Lattes, Bookshops and Bone Dust. Then there's this one, and there's 2 novellas that are already out, as well as a third coming out on the 1st of October, and I believe that is going to be it. So if I read this, and then I'm sure it won't take me much to read the 2 novellas, then I will at least be up to date until October, which that's a good place to be in, and especially if it's just a novella coming out, then it won't be much to finish that off too. But this is going to be the first one that I read, so let's get into it. Okay, so I've just been at the gym, and during that time I've been listening to Brigands and Breadknives. It's a very easy listen to. I'm an hour in, and a bit over an hour, and I've got 3 hours to go apparently. So I'm definitely going to finish this off probably today. Let's be honest. By the time I sort of like make dinner and do a couple of house things, I will probably end up getting this read. So yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I'm definitely glad I read the prequel book before that because it carries on from that. And you wouldn't get the full concept of who this character is if you hadn't already read that book. But I'm interested to see where this goes, because the main character, Viv, is sort of having a midlife crisis, like an identity crisis, and is just questioning what is happening in her life, and where she sort of wants her life to go. There's a person right next to me. Okay, they're gone. So Viv is sort of questioning what she wants to do with her life and what is giving her pleasure and, fulfilling her cup of tea, I guess. So I'm interested to see where she goes as a character. We're still sort of in the, like, she's on her journey and some things are happening, and I find the idea of just having a drunken night and waking up on a van very scary. Like, what do you mean that that's what happened? But yes, so far enjoying it and looking forward to seeing where it goes. Okay, this is me just casually chilling on the ground because it's comfy and I couldn't be bothered trying to get my tripod out. So, I have just finished Brigands and Breadknives by Travis Baldree. I will say this is my least favourite out of the 3 that I read. This goes away from the cozy fantasy and is more like there's more action in it, and there's like road trip action, and like it moved away from what I really liked about the other 2. It still had the aspects of, you know, finding who your true identity is and working all that out. And I think Viv does do like a nice like journey through all that. But I didn't care so much about the fight scenes in it and things like that. And yeah, it just didn't hook me the way the other ones did as much. So I still enjoyed it. I'm giving it a 3.5 stars. I didn't like it as much as the others. I am really interested to read the novellas that go a bit into the backstory of the other characters as well, though. From what I can tell, there's 2 novellas out, and then there's a 3rd one coming, but I think the 3rd book actually has those 2 novellas in it, and then might have more. I don't really know. I did find, I think it's Fill the Pages is the first one, or Pages to Fill. That is on Travis Baldree's website, so at some point I might read that, but I just want to give myself a little bit of space from this one, so I might, like, I think I actually want to read it during this vlog, but I just want to have a break in between. So the next thing I'm going to pick up is Children of Fallen Gods by Carissa Broadbent. This is book number 2 in the War of Lost Hearts series or trilogy, and I really enjoyed Daughter of No Worlds, but I can't remember how long ago I read it. I think it was like at the start of this year maybe, or end of last year. However, Carissa Broadbent, if you didn't know, does really good recaps of her books on her website. So highly recommend, if you need to recap any of her books, just go and look at them on there. And I wish every author did this. Like, okay, ideally, I think the recaps should just go in the start of the book, and then if you don't need them, you can just skip that. But failing that, I wish every author would just have a recap of the book on their website, because, you know, it would just make things so much easier. But long story short, I did go and read that just to refresh myself and put myself back into this world. So I am ready to go into Children of Fallen Gods. The other thing is, it's quite late now. So I'm like, do I start this now, or do I go to bed? And I'm kind of leaning to starting this, because I am watching some old sprints and there's 20 minutes left of the sprint that I'm currently in. So I'm like, well, I could just read 20 minutes and then go to bed. So maybe that's the plan. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I also do have the audiobook out from the library as well, so I get to immersively read it. Yay! 50% I'm now 50% into Children of Fallen Gods, and I am really enjoying it. However, I will say I need to immersively read this one. It's not one that I can pay enough attention to and work out what's going on if I just try and listen to it. So it is taking me a little bit longer to get through than I would like, just because it's not like I can swap between doing something else and listening to it and then coming back to immersively reading it. I have to exclusively immersively read it because the two female voices, like the two female perspectives, the way the female narrator does them is not enough that I can really tell the difference just from picking up the audiobook and listening to it. Obviously, the male Max's character is done by the male narrator, so that's easy. But for the two females, I keep getting confused of who's who, so I just need to be able to see that name at the start of the chapter of who it's talking about. And there's just so much going on in it that I need to stay focused while working out where everyone is at, because we're following the different people and the different sort of storylines of what's happening, but it's all at the same time. So yeah, I am really enjoying it. But yeah, it's a lot going on. And like, I can't quite tell where it's all like coming together. Like, I want to know how all these characters come together, because at the moment we've got the humans and then the elves. Well, sorry, not the elves, the fae. But I want to like see how they come together, because at the moment they're both like blaming each other for the destruction of the world essentially. But I can't quite tell where the worlds connect and how that connects. So yeah. Anyway, I want to get back into this. I have gotten home. I've like just showered and heated up some soup. So I'm going to sit here and massively read this and eat my very, very late dinner and then go to bed. Okay, I have finished Children of the Fallen Gods, and I did not see what happened coming. It definitely made a lot more sense once the twists and changes and things like that. I don't want to give too much away, but I will say it wasn't I really enjoyed this book, don't get me wrong. However, it was really hard to concentrate on all the different characters and what was going on, because there's just so much going on. And it wasn't until the twist at the end that I kind of fully got engrossed and like was fully committed again. I think the middle of it really does wane for me. So I think I was leaning to like a 3.5 if I was just going off the middle of the book, but I really enjoyed the start and I really, really enjoyed the end. So I'm going to bump it up to a 4-star read. I think it's the middle book. It has so much information that it needs to cram in, and it's one of those things that I think we have to accept that middle book is always like cram as much information in. They need to get from A to B so that they can wrap up in book 3. But I definitely want to get to book 3 sooner rather than later. I definitely think that this is a story where I need to read it closer together, because I did struggle to get back into this world from book 1 because it's been a few months. So I want to, in the next couple of months, try and get to book 3 and then finish off this trilogy. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Tashana, I think that's how you pronounce her name, definitely sort of came into her own. But I think I liked Max more. I don't know, there's just something about Max and like what he goes through and the challenges and the difficulties and like, you know, admitting his feelings and everything. But I want to know where this is going and what's going to happen. The next one's called Mother of the New... No, that doesn't sound right. I don't actually know what it's called. Mother of something. It's not going to be listed in here. Anyway. Hello. So the next book I'm going to pick up for this vlog is I'm going to read Beneath by Arial Sullivan. Pretty sure that's her name. This is like a prequel series to Conform, and I really, really enjoyed Conformed. I think I gave it a 4.5 stars. Like, it was really good and so much going on, and a lot of people have said that Beneath is even better, so I'm trying not to like get my hopes up too high, like get my expectations up too high, but I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I do have it digitally, and I have it audibly as well. So I'm going to do some immersive reading this morning, but I'm going to start off with just my audiobook while I get some stuff done, write up my to-do list for today, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to start Beneath, and I will let you know what I think. Hello. So I am at 27% of the way through Beneath, and so far I am absolutely loving it. I can definitely see why people say that you don't need to read Conformed before this one, because the world is so different at this stage. I believe this is set like quite a long time before Conformed, and it's before any of the segregation sort of happens, or at least that's what I can kind of tell. Actually, I don't really know. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I remember someone saying that it was set beforehand, but the same sort of segregation isn't really happening in this book. So yeah, I am really, really enjoying the characters in this one. What's the main character's name again? Okay. So I really like Sasha Cadle, and getting to know her. She's like starting to like stand up for herself. Like, she hates the sort of spot that she's been put in, but yeah, I'm liking her sort of starting to see her footing and like stand up in the unit. So loving that. And yeah, I am just looking forward to seeing where this goes. I will check in at the 50% mark, but so far I am absolutely loving it. I love the world, and we don't get too much thrown at us all at one time, but you just get enough that you sort of kind of get the feeling like, you know, we've been told about how their skin has changed colours and that they're underground, so we get that they've been underground for such a long time, and you know, they haven't had that sun exposure, so their skin's a different colour and things like that. So it's not like overburdening us with all those things. But yeah, definitely liking it and looking forward to where this goes. And I also want to see how this ties in a bit more with Conformed. Yeah. Be interesting. And then I think the next book in the series, I don't know when it actually comes out, but that is back to Conformed. So this technically is book 1 in the Rebirth. I don't know if I think they're duologies. I think it's I think it's a trilogy. It's a trilogy of trilogies, is I'm pretty sure what it's been described as. So there's Beneath, which is a part of Rebirth, and Conformed is a part of Reform, I think is that trilogy name, or that might be the overall one. No, that's the Conformed one, because Beneath is listed as the first for the Rebirth, but book 0 for Reform, and then Core comes out next year. That is so annoying. I want it to be out already. Anyway, February of 2027. That's not too far away. I can deal with that, I guess. But I also want to try and find some deluxe editions of these books. I don't know if anyone would have them yet, but we'll see. Okay, that's it for this. I want to get back to reading it, so I will check in at 50%. Hello. So I am just shy of 50%, so I thought I'd do my 50% check in, and I am loving it. I'm loving the action. We've just gotten to a really gripping scene, and I am wanting to just jump back into it. It was very hard to pause when I did because I'm still in the middle of the sprints. So I just wanted to do this check-in before I really jump back into it, because I am now at the point where I don't want to stop and I just want to keep on going. So yeah, loving it. I'm loving the characters. I really like Levi, I think that's who it is, who is the main partner. I think he's he's Sasha's field partner. And I've been really enjoying the dynamic between them of just being mate partners. And yeah, I need to get back into it. And I don't want to say what's causing it, but just know that I'm really enjoying this book and I'm highly recommending it, even though I haven't even finished it yet. But I can definitely see what the hype is about. I'm still intrigued by this world. So in this setting, the outside world is full of radiation after the war, and they're on the quest to sort of find resources essentially, and that aren't contaminated or whatnot. And yeah, I'm really liking working out who's who in the zoo, I guess. No, it's a nice dynamic. It's not there are romantic elements and there's a romantic interest, but the main relationships really are Sasha with her new unit and trying to fit into that. So I don't feel like the romance is the main driving force of this plot. It's actual relationships with other people and fitting in that way and connecting with different people and the differences that they all have, but they're still able to come together as a team. And I really like that. I'm really enjoying learning a bit about each person in this unit and what brought them to be who they are now, and sort of the little glimpses that we see of their back history. So really enjoying it, and I just want to jump back in. So I'm going to end this update because I want to read. I probably will not have moved in the entire time from reading this book from start to finish, but that's okay. Okay. So I'm very awkwardly trying not to cry while sprinting, but oh my God, this book is heartbreaking. I just got to a point where she's talking about her mum and her mum not being there for her, and I actually just want to fully, you know what? I need to turn off my camera for the sprint because I cannot deal. It is gut-wrenching. She's saying essentially that what is it? That her mum's giving up essentially and saying, feed the kids instead of her, and she's but why are you just giving up? And then the mum's well, the kids have you. And she's but what about me? Who do I get? And I'm oh, and hearing this from your mum, being I'm not important, oh, it's horrible. It's fully hit me in all the feels, and yeah. And on top of that, it's also been she's thinking about this because it's been an emotional scene for her. I'm oh, I can't. I needed to stop and chat because yeah, okay. I want to keep reading, but it's just, it got me. It really, really got me. It's horrible. Okay. We're going to jump back in. I'll see how I go getting through the rest of this. Yeah. It's going to be a hard one. Hello. So I just wanted to update you because I have finished Beneath and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so good. I gave it a 5 stars. Yeah, that sort of storyline I really enjoyed, and even though it is the same world like as Conformed, I liked how it was different, and I like seeing like in that timeline where things are at. I did have to stop trying to think about how it connected and where it was in the timeline and everything, because it is so much before Conformed. So yeah, once I got past that, then it was all good. I just absolutely had a great time reading it, and I cannot wait to continue on, although I know the next one is the second book in the Conformed trilogy, so it's going to be a while before we get the second book in the Beneath trilogy, but that's okay. So highly recommend. I definitely understand why people say that it doesn't matter which one you read first. I do think that the writing in the story is better in Beneath, so if you read Conformed first, then I think Beneath will be better, whereas I think if you read Beneath first, Conformed won't seem as good. I don't know, it may not affect your opinion, but that's just what I would think. Anyway, so the next book I'm going to be picking up is, if I can lift it up, The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. This is book number 3 in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, and it's the first book in the second duology. All of these, like, interconnected, are part of the same series, but not the same series is doing my head in. But anyway, so I not long ago read The Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, which is the 2.5 book, and enjoyed that. I don't believe it has anything to do with what goes on in this book, though. And this one follows, is it Mishi? I think that's how you pronounce her name. And I really liked her in the first duology, so I'm looking forward to getting more of her backstory and getting to follow her. So I am really excited to read this. And it's actually not as big as what I thought it was. It's only like 300 and... Where is it? Okay. Maybe it is 400. It's just over 400 pages. So looking forward to it. Anyway, I'm heading out for the day, so I won't actually be reading it today, but I'm going to a brewery tour and then having an afternoon with mates, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Okay, so I'm going to read Fearless next by Lauren Roberts. This is the last novella in this series, so it is going to make my rule of finishing a series for this video, and then, yeah. I feel like this one's only going to take me a couple of hours. I do have it on audiobook as well, because I'm still waiting on Songbird to come in. I was meant to be like a day out from it, and it still hasn't come in, which is really annoying. Yeah, so it's going to take me about 4 hours at my listening speed, so I'm just going to do this while I chill around the house for a little bit. I do need to do some editing, but I think what I might do is just do some stuff around the house and take that to the studio and sit down there and do that there, so that I get that done. But anyway, I just feel like it's too early to go now. I don't know why. All right, well, I'm going to start this book and I'll touch base. Hello. So I just finished listening to Fearful by Lauren Roberts. So I have now completed a series, so that is one less on my list. So very excited about that. It was fine. I kind of forgot to do an update at the 25 and the halfway mark because it was such a short book. Like, it was only 4 hours and I was driving here and doing some stuff. So sorry about that. I kind of liked going back and seeing Death's perspective of the events that happened in the last book and sort of what was happening in the parts that we didn't see from that. So I enjoyed that aspect of it. I just don't think there was really a need for it. Like, it was a nice to have, but I don't know if it was really necessary. And so, yeah. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. So I gave it a 3.5 because I did like it. I just didn't love it. And yeah, I am very excited to have a series done. And I actually can't remember what that brings me down to. So at the end of this video series, or like once I've done with my last book, which hopefully I get access to the Songbird and the Heart of Stone soon. Otherwise, I guess I can physically read it for the next hour because I then start work. But yeah, either that or I was going to edit my video, but I think since my computer's been a bit funny, I might just read for a bit and then hopefully I get access to the audiobook tonight so that I can keep listening to it as I drive home and stuff like that, and edit, I guess, tonight when I get home, because actually I can honestly edit while I'm working because I'm not actively teaching until later tonight. So, yeah. Okay. That's all I have to update you so far. I am liking the fact that we finished a series. I'm very excited for that. And I am appreciating, like, being able to get through some of these series. So I'm definitely looking forward to keeping this as a little series on my channel for a little bit, just until I get my series number under control. So I don't know if 30 is realistic or not. Other people seem to do it, but just with the amount that I read and the amount that I pick up, I don't know if I could get it to 30, but hey, we're going to give it a try because 100 and whatever I'm on is just way too many. So anyway, I'm going to update this on my spreadsheet and yeah. Hello. So I am at 30% of the way into the Songbird and the Heart of Stone. And so far, I am loving the storyline. I'm loving where it is going, and I can't wait to sort of see how it expands. So this one we're following Mishka, or Mishi, might be Mishi, and we met her in the last two books, the last duology set, and now we're going to see her story. And while this takes place after the first duology, we're still going to see her backstory and like her history and what made her the person that she is, the vampire that she is, and it's really cool. I am really enjoying it. I'm also loving, what's his name? I'm so bad at character names, especially when they're not a point of view. Okay, it's Azar. Asar? Yeah, anyway. I'm liking him, and I sort of want to get to know a bit more about him and being the illegitimate, well, the bastard son. So, yeah, interesting. But so this one is following their descent down into the underworld and trying to break someone out. So I'm looking forward to all the things that they need to go through in order to get to the underworld and all the trials and stuff that's going to be on their way. And so far, so good. I'm going to get back into it because I got reading sprints at the moment, so I really want to keep going. And I'm going to keep immersively reading it. So, fun times. Okay, I am now 50% of the way into this book and I'm just chewing through it. So we've just been going with reading sprints and I am absolutely loving it. I'm loving the storyline. I am interested to find how this all ties together. I do get a little bit confused between the character names because I think he keeps calling her like birth name, not the name that she now goes by. So I get a little bit confused between them, but yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. And I want to see more of the descent down into the underworld. So I'm enjoying it while doing sprints and housework. The other thing I'm doing at the moment, I'm going to grab you and flip you, is I'm organising all my reading journal little things. So some of them are for books that I have read and need to add to my reading journal, and other ones I'm trying to also, when I print that one out, print out the rest of the series so that I know where I'm up to and what I still have to read, and sort of gives me that visual cue because sometimes I put things on story. Actually, I've been pretty bad about putting things on Storygraph as a to read, and I'll try and put them in my Notion spreadsheet, but I like having that visual cue of what the book cover looks like to be like, oh yeah, I need to read that. So I'm trying to use this as a first port of call for the books that I want to be reading, and especially my series, to try and cut them down, which is the whole point of this video. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to get back to this book because I'm inching closer to this book being finished and another series that I'm inching closer to being up to date with. Okay, I have just finished the Songbird and the Heart of Stone and I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to give it a 4.5. I don't think it just wasn't quite a 5-star. There was just some bits of it that I wasn't into as much, but it's a really high 4.5. Like, it's on the cusp. I'm not getting that 5-star feel. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I cannot wait to pick up the next one. So I guess I am going to get to that hopefully sooner rather than later, because I do want to continue on with this story and see where Asher and Azar and Misha's story goes. But yes, at the moment, as an overall, I think I'm preferring this storyline to the first one. And I think that's a hot take. I've got a feeling a lot of people didn't like this storyline for some reason. I can't remember. But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this vlog here because we have now completed 5 books. So I don't even remember. What did we read? We read Brigands and Breadknives by Travis Baldree. We read Beneath by Arial Sullivan. Children of Fallen Gods by Carissa Broadbent. I just realised I read 2 Carissa Broadbent books. Fearful by Lauren Roberts, and The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. So at the start of this video, I started with 110 current series with 19 of them up to date. I read Fearful, which means I completed a series. So I'm now at 109 series. And because I read Beneath, that actually brought me up to date with that. So I'm now up to date with 20 series. The only problem with that is next month there's like 5 of my series that come out with their next book, so I'm going to be behind again with another 5. So unfortunately the next time I do this series I will be in a worse off state than what this one is, as well as if I've added any other series, which no, because I know my current TBR, I will have. So we might need to do this series a little bit more frequently than not, but let me know what you thought of it. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. Bye.